All right, so today I'm going to kind of take a look at why my Jeep's got some pretty serious death wobble. I've already checked ball joints and everything kind of once over, wheel bearings, all that normal stuff, but kind of got to believe that my upper control arms bushings are bad. So let's toss it on the lift, see what we find. All right, Jeep's in the air. I might have forgot to hit record, but pulled the bolt out and let the control arm go. And I mean, it's pretty rough looking, but it's also an 87, so I don't know, like maybe. I mean, it's definitely got some slop in it. I would say that's probably justifiable in replacing, but you definitely can see where it's been wearing on here, and I don't know if this is a case of improperly shanked bolt or just age. It's part of the game when you're driving a 87. The only other thing I'll say is I don't know how I got so lucky, but just with ratchet and a wrench, I got this off. So I know a lot of the time these strip, and I've welded nuts on them. It's kind of good luck. Sometimes they end up liquid with a torch if you need to. So good luck. Get the right size Torx bit. I think it's a T50. Maybe I'll be smart enough to actually record that this time. So I'm not going to pull this side off yet. Mostly because I don't want to have to support the axle and have to deal with that thing flopping around. So I'm going to leave this side together for a minute, but let's go take a look at the replacement parts. These are the bushings that I ended up picking up at the parts store. Maybe with some luck, these will be the actual parts to fix this. Yeah, they look about right. Let's go take a look under the Jeep. Yeah, hopefully this won't be too bad. I'm just gonna use a ball joint press to press these out from in the Jeep and just press these back in. I did end up picking up some hardware. I also stocked back up on quite a bit of hardware, but so I'm not gonna reuse those old bolts. I'm actually gonna drill these out. They have little like almost like centering divots in there, but it's basically a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna see what I can't do to get that to fit. Rather use some new hardware that's halfway decent. And the biggest thing is just taking a quick measurement. These actually have a little bit better shank to go through the entire control arm. Let's see about drilling one of these out and how difficult that's going to be, and see if I junk some $30 bushings. That might have worked. Yeah, that'll work. I think that'll be a nice little upgrade. All right, well, I guess now that I know that that's gonna work, let's see about getting old ones out. Gonna make some room here, I think. Get rid of this coil spring. I don't think I'm gonna be able to quite fit that in there. Otherwise, that ball joint press kind of a little bit bigger than I remember. Now that I got that out, we can try and get that ball joint press in there. That was easy. So I guess let me show you what I did here. I had some leftover materials. And I made this is some DOM, kind of just cut off that fit the bushing, put that on the receiving side to keep the actual bushing from just pushing through like it was at first. See, I was having problems where just pushing that center, I was just going to push this whole thing center out, and so I ended up taking This is a cap from like a 1350 U-joint, I believe. Just welded a washer on it real quick. You can see I kind of missed the center of it a little bit, so yeah, just was convenient because this fit the end here pretty nice and kept it kind of retained. So as you can see from this, it's pretty well dry rotted, and as far as I'm concerned, probably junk. But you can kind of see those nubs in there. It looks like they're pretty wore out, and I gotta assume that's where that bolt was pretty messed up at. So hey, the other thing I should take a look at, and maybe even see if I got a good view of that. You kind of want to double check that the holes in your control arm itself, a lot of the time they'll get all whopped out if they're loose or anything. These ones don't look too bad. Now I am gonna have to drill those out because I don't know exactly what size this bolt is. I think it's a metric something or other. Seeing as how I'm going up so many sizes, I'm gonna drill these out to match, go from there. But let's see about getting this pressed in first, and see if I gotta make any custom tooling to install it. Hopefully I can use some stuff that's in the kit actually here. So I just put some grease on here, trying to kind of help get it started a little bit. Now I need to be able to press this through, let it kind of find its center. Put a little bit of a backing plate on here. I don't know if this little piece of 1/4 inch is gonna do it. Yeah, see, a little bit of grease on them, and there's a good taper on that inside of that ear. So for the most part, they kind of center themselves up pretty well. So really the more important thing is just making sure you get it pressed in all the way to where it's fully seated on that little lip right here. All right, let's see what that looks like. See if that control arm will fit now. I just gave it a little bit of a backing plate here. Just something to press on that full face of that bushing so it's not damaging it at all. Yep, that should do it. Cool. Well, that's not so bad. Before I can do anything, I got to drill that hole out. You can kind of see that these holes are not exactly perfectly round. It might have been a little bit whopped out, kind of front to back more than anything. Not too bad. I've seen them a lot worse. I mean, I've seen them where they're egg-shaped, and a lot of the time it's hard to even diagnose because they put such a big flange on those bolts that you almost have to pull them apart just to even check. So if you're having trouble where you can't figure out why your death wobble isn't fixed after replacing a bunch of parts, and you got an older Jeep or a lift that's been on for a while, double check that those aren't all kind of wallered out. So something to look for. Let's see if I can't get this new bolt in there. Now, I know I told you I was going to show you what a properly shanked bolt looks like, but once I get this a little bit further here. So if you look closely here, the actual shoulder of that bolt is fully outside of the control arm, especially once I add a washer. In my personal opinion, this obviously is going to have to get tightened down. I would rather put a longer shouldered bolt in that sticks outside of a control arm and even have to double a washer up than put a bolt in that the threads are sticking inside, because inevitably it's going to turn out just like this one did. I'll toss maybe another washer on that real quick and tighten this up, see what it looks like when it's tight. Since this is my personal whip, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty okay with my craftsmanship, I'm just gonna leave it. If you're really picky, you could always cut some of these threads off. Really doesn't gain you anything. I think it's nice if you can leave them. Hindsight, I could have probably ran it from this side and probably not even noticed it ever again. All right, well, that's one side down. So I did end up flipping that bolt back. I couldn't look at it. It was driving me nuts. I'm just going to leave the threads on it because why waste my time taking them off? It's in there. It's not going nowhere. This might be the last battle this one wins. So after some persuasion and plan and a little bit of a jack and a pry bar and some finagling, I finally got that in. Looks just like the other side. This is pretty much a wrap on doing those upper bushings. Not too terrible of a job. Will say you need a ball joint press, some basic hand tools, creativity to get those bushings out if your ball joint press doesn't have what you need. But overall, not too bad a job. Say definitely worth doing if your Jeep's older and you feel like you've gone through pretty much everything. The only other thing I might double check is make sure this track bar mount bolt isn't too bad. There is a chance that maybe that's got some hidden play in it yet, but we'll see. Maybe I'll give you guys an update if I can go 55 again. But all right, well, till the next one.